Comedy Festival, and also at the Rockwell, formerly the Somerville, the Davis Square Theater.
Oh,
Mhm.
and that's where you're gonna be.
That's where I'm going to be. Yeah.
Right on. What times are you gonna be there?
Oh, on
Do you host? What are
I
those
personally
times?
will be there on November 16th, 17th, and 18th for both performances, and basically we get to judge some of the best talent coming to Boston, coming through Boston.
And how do you judge comedy? You know what I mean? It's just like because sometimes
Well,
comedy
Adam, my
sometimes
boy,
is
what
not.
you're asking there is a very tough question. You got to consider all types of facets of how well they work the
It's all
crowd.
prop comedy, all right?
Yeah, no, totally, dude. How well they use those rubber chickens.
Yes.
No, seriously, it comes down to you judge how comfortable they are on stage, how varied their material is,
So a lot of it's
how
performance, not just like strength of jokes, right?
well. I mean, yeah, if it's funny versus if it's not, that's a very personal thing. But if someone comes on and they can really work the crowd and they utilize the whole stage and really make people feel engaged in the performance versus someone that gets up there, they stand up for the microphone,
No.
I mean, you take these things into account. Also, what kind of rapport they develop with the room.
Yeah.
And these are things you pay attention to. I myself am a comedy nerd going way back, and it's kind of an honor to be invited to take part in something like this. I've judged
Yeah,
Battle of
that's
the
pretty
Band
cool, man.
competitions. Several shows that I've hosted with different groups have giving me a different sense of types of performances. And with comedy, um, it's it's the same. You're basically looking at artists perform their craft.
No.
And you keep
Is
that
there
in
anything
mind.
more annoying though than somebody being really into a comedian and thinking they're the funniest person in the world and you just don't find them funny? I find
Yes,
that's a problem I have.
I have that problem
I
too.
just
Wait,
get
okay.
mad. I'm like,
Well,
that's not funny. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people think Joe Rogan's funny. You know
So,
what I mean?
is
No,
there
you
going
rubbed
to
me
be
the
a
wrong way.
competition?
There is a competition, yeah. Several rounds of competition.
So you're
There's
going to
gonna
be one of a few judges that are going to basically pick out who's the
I'm
funny
going to
guy.
decide futures.
Or lady.
Yes.
That guy's funny looking. He wins.
This guy.
Good.
Okay, see, this is why they don't. All right. Yes, Johnny.
Yep.
No, Ryan. But it's the Boston Comedy Festival taking place at Laugh Boston, once in Somerville, and the Rockwell, also in Somerville. November 16th, 17th, and 18th are the actual prelim competitions.
That's like Davis Square, Somerville, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And it's going on all week. John Ratzenberger will be in town on the 18th receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. Dude, this is going to be big. And you can come down and see my ugly mug, man. Check us out. For any additional information, I actually brought up the website. You can go to bostoncomedyfest.com, or you can shoot us a message at thegeekdown@gmail.com. Oh, excuse me. No, at geekdownradio@gmail.com.
Gotcha.
I get confused sometimes, kids. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So what is your top comedian working right now?
Right now?
Yeah, working not like all time because everybody has those. It's always the same,
No, I gotta give
people.
I gotta give it to Donald Glover.
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover is a dude that I've been watching
Glover.
for years.
Childish Gambino.
I've been watching him for years. For a long time, he was just this random face in a comedy group that I used to watch their videos on YouTube called Derek Comedy.
Yeah.
And dude, they would do these really small, really low budget, but really funny videos of like simple concepts, but hilarious. Ellie Kemper was on one of my favorite ones. I mentioned Donna Glover, but one of my favorite ones was by Ellie Kemper, now actress of a bunch of random ass movies. But back then she was part of this comedy group, just doing a bit where she was basically about to give her boyfriend a BJ, and she's asking him how he likes it. And her questions are okay. So how much teeth do you want?
Like dry, like a desert.
Yeah. Okay.
I know what
So
you're talking about.
how dry do you want? I'm gonna make this so dry for you. It's like no. And it was just hilarious.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of good comedy. Donald Glover has carried that. He's an interesting story too. How he was doing that comedy and performing while he was still a college student and never actually got his degree because he still has like literally like 2 credits to fulfill. Which would be fulfilled by his RA clause.
Yeah.
In basically he has to be an RA at the college for like a month.
And to get his degree.
To get his degree, and he hasn't done it. And they were like 8
Yeah,
years later. And
I think he's gonna be okay.
Yeah,
You know, I think
he's gonna be all right. He didn't have that RA John to fall back on.
Comedy's funny though, man. And there's some people that are like really, really funny, but they're not like good stand-up comedians. You know what I mean? Like it's like there's so many people that are like hilarious. Like Robert Downey Jr. is hilarious.
Mhm.
He's one of the funniest guys ever, but he's not like you put him on a stage, he's not going to do that great just sitting there cracking jokes. Like
See,
Ben
I would
Stiller's
think
like
that.
another guy. He's like really funny, but he's not like you put him on a stage, he's not
He
going to
didn't
like
do stand-up?
crack. I don't think so.
Wow, man.
You know what I mean? A lot of them do, but like there's a lot of bad stand-ups that are just really funny guys too.
People
You know what
tell
I
me
mean?
I should do stand-up. I'm like, yeah, I don't have the
Yeah,
chops. I'm
sometimes
sorry.
yeah,
I respect it
it's
too
a
much.
different beast. You know what I mean? It's a whole different thing. So
Yeah, that wasn't a humble brag. I mean, seriously, they've said that, and I'm like, I would not dare.
Yeah.
Because it terrifies the
I
crap
think
out of
like
me.
Bill Burr's a good stand-up, but I don't think he's funny like in stuff.
Well, that's the thing. A
either.
lot of stand-ups, dude, are just like they're funny on stage, but you talk to them in person, and they are just
Yeah.
the most like self-loathing.
Well, you know, like Chris
angry.
Rock is a good example because Chris Rock is, I think, one of the greatest stand-ups of all time. I
And
think
off stage, he's a cutter. I know.
Yeah, but when
He's
you
not- he's
put
not- he's
him
not
in
a
a
cutter. That's
movie,
not a
when you put him in a movie, like the movie's only good when it's like a showcase for his stand-up.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It was the movie where he's like the
Down to
old
earth.
man, yeah.
down to earth.
And so all of a
exactly,
sudden, like the
yes.
movie sucks, but then all of a sudden it's like you give him a chance to do his stand-up,
Mhm.
and like for that 5-minute scene where he's in the boardroom,
Yes.
he does his stand-up, and you're like, wow, that was really
I
funny.
know
But it's
exactly what
only
you're talking
because
about. I am
he's
right
doing
there.
like what he does on stage. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Doesn't really translate.
Well, it's a tough call, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why a lot of people they're really jazzed about getting on SNL because they develop the right character that can be something they can translate to a movie, and that'll be
Right,
their big
yeah.
break.
Yep.
Versus their beautiful, amazing, brilliant stand-ups, and other realms they just
don't do
can't
it.
carry over. You know, it doesn't take anything away from their stand-up. They're still
No,
extremely
they're
funny, talented individuals,
immensely
but
talented.
in that realm. You know,
Yeah.
it's like asking, hey. Johnny Cash, how do you feel about surfing?
Funny shirts. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I gave my top comedian working today. Do you have a top guy, gal,
Ooh,
other?
working. Yeah, I set myself up to not have a really good
I feel the
answer.
curve,
You know what I
ladies
mean?
and gentlemen.
I
Ugh,
think
take
it's
that.
still Louis C.K. Man. I think that's obviously a very well-known and popular choice, but I
Boston's
don't
own,
think there's
yeah.
really any better working right now. I think he's just brilliant,
CK is,
and he just does new material all the time. I think that's really big
That's
too.
another thing I could
He's
not-
constantly putting out new stuff, which is just crazy in general.
I
And
like
he's
his
but he's
stuff.
another one of those guys. He translates too. He does a show. He does everything.
Mhm.
He's a genius.
Oh no,
you know?
he's a workhorse supreme.
Yeah,
Like this
so-
dude, he writes for other people. He's like
You wrote
co-written
Pootie Tang,
movies.
man, and if you
Wrote
need to say
Pootie
anything
Tang,
else,
baby.
that's it, dude. That's it. You wrote Pootie Tang.
Yeah. Also, if
That's
anyone's
it.
unfamiliar, he had a show. Check out Lucky Louie.
Lucky Louie on HBO before the other one. Yeah,
Mhm.
man, that show was depressing.
Yeah, but
Then
there
that
was-
really crappy one room they had in that bad apartment, right?
Yeah,
that was it.
that's,
yeah.
that's your HBO budget. At work
Yeah,
right there.
no, it was the early days, but
Yeah.
that show was kind of sad, you know.
It was, but it's still iconic. Like to this day, he's still heralded by. He's comedian's favorite comedian.
Yeah,
You know, that's the level that Louis C.K. has reached by
Yeah.
now, and it's like we know his work, and he's funny as hell. That's actually a good pick, man.
yeah, he's good, man. So
I
that's it.
want to poll the room, but we're running out of time. Real quick, do you guys have a favorite comic working today? You want to shout out?
If I can pick a YouTube personality, then
Go
sure.
for it.
I go with Obi-Wan. He sort of comments on video game related news and topics and sort of gives his little opinion on it. But he has like this character that is it's overly excited, and what he does, it's more like a proppy style comedy where he does a lot of graphics all over the place. So when he's talking about something, he's like overly hyperactive, and he has like unicorns pop out of nowhere, and like Randy Savage will do something like powerbomb someone in the background
Prop
while
comic,
he's talking
video
about
prop
something.
You lost me at unicorns, but you had me again a range stab.
He's really good. Obi-Wan, I like him.
All right, and Brian?
Toss up between Tom Segura and Chad Daniels. They got that dry humor that always leaves you wondering, are they serious or not?
Mhm.
That twisted, dark humor, that off-putting, that
I'm okay with them. I get a sense of what was his name? Do you remember Jonathan Katz?
no.
Okay, Jonathan Katz, really dry delivery. And also I get to talk about that show afterwards, man. He had a show, Dr. Katz, Professional Therapist.
Oh yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good, and that's also where a lot of famous comedians got their quick break getting on TV with their voice. Good one, kind of. All right, and we've reached the end of our hour, man. I want to thank you all for listening to another episode of Geek Down here on WEMF Radio. You can catch us every Monday nights, 9 p.m. right here on WEMFradio.com. If you heard anything on this show you want to chime in on, you want to give us your personal opinion, hit us up at geekdownradio@gmail.com. And also, thank you for watching the Twitch stream if you were checking our our beautiful faces there. And if you weren't, for future reference, you can watch us on Twitch at twitch.tv/The Geek Down. Also, check us out on our social media on Facebook /The Geek Down, on Twitter /The Geek Down, Instagram /The Geek Down. Check us out on SoundCloud /Geek Down. All of this stuff is available on our show page
YouTube.
at. No, let me get there. On our show page at wemfradio.com, where you can also get the email link, the YouTube link, and you can check us out on iTunes directly. Just type in Geek Down or Geek Down Radio with The Geek Down, any other combination, and we'll come up. Look for the familiar logo, and dude, it'll be awesome. I promise you. All right, blow your mind.
Never let me down before.
Exactly. See, bam, in-house, unbiased. All right, we're getting silly, dude. You've been listening to Geek Down. Want to remind you all to catch us next Monday night, same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, be excellent to each other. Peace.
What he said.
Do you need a medical marijuana?